Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Pretty Nerdz podcast. This is your girl, Nay. Happy 2020 to you guys. Fallon Deanne is still currently out on leave, but again, she will be back. And I guess we can just go ahead and let's get right into the show, you know? Let's jump right into these hot topics.
Pretty Nerdz, Pretty Nerdz, Pretty Nerdz, Pretty Nerdz, Pretty Nerdz, Pretty Nerdz, Pretty Nerdz. Pretty Nerd, Pretty Nerd, Pretty Nerd, Pretty Nerd, Pretty Nerd.
It's very, very light, as you guys know. There's not too much going on just yet. The year has just kind of kicked off. We saw a bunch of New Year's parties. Some of the biggest that we saw were obviously Beyonce and Jay's. We saw the picture that Meg posted with her and Blue Ivy out here snatching all of our edges, looking like a big old grown-up, gorgeous girl. It was revealed that she has her own stylist, which I am not surprised by at all, because sis just been out here destroying our lives, honey, looking gorgeous, letting all the girls know, you know. So, that was super dope to kind of get to see Meg interact with the other H-Town hottie, Miss Beyonce. So hopefully we, in this new year, will get a release or a record from the two of them. That'd be pretty dope, I think. We also saw Diddy's annual New Year's party in Miami. A bunch of hot names were down there for that. You had Meek, you had Future, DJ Khaled. Interesting lineup, considering most of them are Eskimo brothers. When it comes to your girl Lori Harvey being on all of their wish lists, but it is what it is. We also had Drake's end of the decade, as he called it, party in Toronto at his Toronto mansion. Looked pretty dope. It was mostly pretty much looked like all his kind of friends and family and all that jazz. You didn't see too many like celebs at that one. But you know, that's Drake for you. Kind of does his own thing. But salute to him. His house looks gorgeous. I don't know if I would like scratch that. I know I wouldn't, because I don't like people like that enough to just have all them goddamn people running around in my goddamn house. No, especially one I just built too. Nice as fuck. Y'all know y'all don't know how to act. Y'all not gonna be up running around all up and through my goddamn house. All posting everything and all that shit on the gram and shit. No, we're not doing this. But salute to Drake nonetheless. You know, look like a good time was had all the way around. I guess we can let's jump right into some quick hitters that we saw kind of towards the end of the year, right into the new year. And I apologize because I'm a little under the weather, so I know I sound super terrible, but it is what it is, and we will make it through this show. Anywho, we have Bryson Tiller. Congratulations to him and his girlfriend, Kendra Bailey. They had their baby Kelly, as well as Princess Love and Ray J. Congratulations to them. They welcomed their baby boy Epic. I think it's Epic. Yeah. You know, interesting name. Kind of goes, I guess. I don't know. It is what it is. So either way, congratulations to them. We saw Jeezy and Jeannie Mai, who rang in the new year together. I guess they're the hot new couple on the scene. And Jeannie's birthday is like right around the time of New Year. So we saw Jeezy throw her a birthday party in which he brought out the legend that is Tevin Campbell to come out and sing and serenade her for her birthday. Hello. Can we say no Tevin Campbell slander will ever be tolerated around me? We not gonna act like he didn't shut it down in the Goofy movie with as Powerline. Shit was everything. Get my whole entire life to that shit to this day. But he was dope as fuck on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when he also sang Happy Birthday to Ashley and her ass passed the fuck out. Yes, just moments, honey. Tevin Campbell still can sing and still got it, so salute to him. Also, in sad news, you had former NBA commissioner David Stern, who passed away, I want to say like right January 1st. That was like some of the first news we saw come out. Also, Bobby Christina, rest in peace to that beautiful young lady. Her ex, Nick Gordon, he passed away also from an apparent drug overdose. Sad news all the way around there. And another quick hitter that I just saw today, DaBaby, he was arrested down in Miami on a robbery charge. That's what they're saying right now. It seems a little strange to me, robbery case. For such a big, successful rapper. I feel like there'll be more to come. Something else maybe be around that. I don't know. Could be a complete mistake. Who knows with these folks? With these hip-hop police, they always after somebody. So, we'll see. Hopefully more to come on that. And, obviously he gets out and all of that good thing and just gets back to the music. Let me see what else. Like I said, there's really hasn't been crazy amount of things. I mean, we're just now a couple of days in the new year. Obviously, more things will be to come. We have Coachella. I mean, if you care or not, they released their lineup for this year. The 3 headliners are going to be Rage Against the Machine on Friday, Travis Scott Saturday, and Frank Ocean on Sunday. I peeped through the lineup, and I'll say for like the 3 days, they have a couple of, but I guess that's Coachella for you anyway. They have a couple of people here and there, blah, blah, blah. It's not, in my opinion, if I have to look at like the big festivals, it's not my favorite. Their lineups don't tend to stack up compared to some of the other ones. Even some of the smaller festivals, their lineups don't really compare. But it's Coachella and all the little celebrities and all that jazz got to go out there and post up. So, I guess that's the appeal of it or the experience of it or whatnot. But the lineup was But if you're into that, the Coachella lineup has been announced, obviously. So if you're going to get your tickets and go out there in the desert and do your thing for Coachella, then do your thing. Also, kind of staying in that realm of like music and television, it was announced that MTV has a new true crime series that they are doing. It's kind of like a spin-off of their True Life series, but they're calling it True Crime. And it will be premiering on January 8th. And the first story they will be doing or investigating is the death of Kenneka Jenkins that occurred in Chicago. Well, it was kind of like on like a little bit outside of Chicago, in like one of those little suburbs. If you guys saw the kind of headlines about it, the news about it, it's extremely disturbing. Mystery. We still don't really have all the facts or kind of know what happened. So hopefully this will kind of shed some more light back in that direction and we can finally get some answers, because that whole story just was like, what? You know what I mean? Like, it just was confusing. It was so many like things that weren't making sense, that weren't adding up. Like I said, hopefully we get some resolution to this or shed some light in some directions so that we can finally really know what happened to this young lady, because the whole story was just crazy when it, you know what I'm saying, when it came out, and, you know, we all kind of first heard about it. So, like I said, hopefully with this new crime series, it'll shed some light back in that direction. Some of the other cases that they'll be covering is Junior. Remember when he was killed in the bodega in New York City? So that'll be on there as well. As we know, there was resolution to that. The young men who killed him have already been tried and convicted. So we'll definitely, like I said, True Life on MTV was always an interesting series anyway. So, and they always did a great job with that. So I assume that they will also do a great job with this true crime series. Again, it will be premiering on January 8th with the Kenneka Jenkins story. So tune in, you know, and check it out, and we'll talk about it after it comes out as well. And let me take a look here. Slow news. Okay, so I'm sure you guys probably saw. If you didn't, I'll give you a quick little recap. A gentleman, he tweeted out, per usual, a troll, tweeted out about how both Tiana Taylor and Ari Lennox look like Rottweilers or whatever, basically comparing them to dogs. Ari Lennox responded with tweets first by saying, you know, y'all anti-blackness is ridiculous. Why y'all always attacking black women? Everything like that. She then got kind of bombarded with people attacking her, crazy enough, calling her sensitive, saying she needs to get out of business, blah, 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 blah. To which she then responded with an IG Live post. In the IG Live post, she made a lot of really good points, y'all. I know that a lot of y'all want to kind of live in this kumbaya world where it's like, race doesn't exist and blah, 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 blah. And y'all just be making everything about race and y'all be so sensitive and this, that, and the other. Like, to see the amount of people who will attempt to deflect just to jump out the gate and defend some bullshit is crazy to me. But needless to say, points were made in Ari Lennox in her posts, in her tweets, and in her live. So if you guys didn't see it, go check it out. All I can say is it is amazing and astonishing to me the amount of black folks, period, black men and black women who consistently feel comfortable to get out in public spaces and attack other black folks, particularly black women. We see them get bashed and attacked constantly by other black women, by black men, shit, by everybody, let's be honest. Black women be out here taking a bashing from everybody, basically, from all facets. And it's just crazy to see that so many people just don't, you know, want to acknowledge it or admit it. And we're, you know, we're not just gonna keep it one-sided, because black men do get quite the bashing as well from other black men and from black women as well, from everybody else as well. So, I mean, it's just, it's like I said, it's astonishing to me the fact that people will go out of their way to almost just like dismiss and not acknowledge something that is clear and that is plain as day. Like I said, points were made. A lot of y'all anti-blackness do be showing. A lot of y'all hatred of black features be shown. Like, it's amazing to me. Like, I see so many people who make jokes about noses and this and that and the other, and it's just like, why y'all, you know what I mean? Like, y'all love black features on non-black people, but like, you see it on some black folks and it's like, oh, they're ugly, or they ain't attractive, or they nose so big, they lips so big, blah, 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 they so dark, they so this, they so that. Like, fucking ridiculous. Like like I said, y'all love black features on non-black folks, but when it comes to black folks, it's like tear down, tear down, tear down. So hopefully, you know, if it did anything, it got people talking and, you know, acknowledging. Hopefully it'll get more people to acknowledge the fact that it is an issue. And that pretty much wraps up the hot topics. I do have one more. And you guys know how much I hate to talk about this man, but here we are, barely into 2020, and Trump has already got all of us in a tailspin. Literally, if you guys listen to the wrap-up show I did, I said to myself, I said on that show, I was like, every day it seems like it's something with this man. And well, this time it was a big something. He ordered a airstrike that killed the head of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. He is being condemned for it across the board by tons of other politicians, activists, just all everyday regular people. Like, what the fuck, my G? What were you doing? What made you make this decision? Like, you know what I mean? Essentially, I mean, you've all kind of, if you've woken up now, you've all kind of seen all the memes and all that are floating around. People kind of joking, but not joking about, you know what I mean? Like, cause you know how we are when some shit's fucked up. We'll turn it into some jokes, but it don't really be jokes. You know what I mean? About how we could possibly be, how this could have started another world war, how we could be, a lot of people are worried that we are headed to war. Shit, man. Like, that's all I could say. Like, when I saw that shit, I was like, wow. I didn't think that he could, I mean, shit, the next election is in November. I was like, surely enough, with all this impeachment shit he got going on, the Senate trial still looming for the impeachment, I figured that at least leading up to the election that it would be relatively quiet in the sense of he wouldn't do nothing too like dramatic or crazy. I mean, of course, he's always going to have his rants and this, that, and the other. And, when he was going to do his campaigning, there's probably going to be a couple of buzz clips from that, but never in my wildest dreams did I think that, we would be seeing some shit like that. Like, I'm saying, on the brink of a potential fucking world war. Craziness. But, hey, that is the current state of affairs right now. That is how we are living out here. Yeah, that's all I can say. So, we'll just kind of have to tune in, wait, and see what comes of it. Hopefully, it's not war. That's all. Wow. Hopefully, it's not a fucking war, because we do not need it. We do not need it. We do not need it at all. So hopefully, it is not a war, not some type of crazy terror attack that occurs. To all of the people who are overseas right now, please be safe. To all of our soldiers who are overseas right now, please be safe. Know that we are praying for you all. Yeah. I mean, wow. That's, woo! Yeah. So like I said, just stay safe, people. Whew. But yeah, that is the hot topics this week. The first show of the new year. Like I said, not too much really jumping off yet, because we're early in this 2020, in this new decade. But, yeah. Let's move on to the relationship segment. And I have a pretty, like, I don't say interesting question, but just like an observation that I've noticed and kind of, what I want to see, what you guys' take on it is. I'm going to give you my take on it. But I've noticed, like, we've kind of, as we've moved here along in these last couple of years and whatnot, heading now into a new decade, I've noticed that there's been a really, really, I don't want to say heavy lean, but definitely a push away from monogamy and more of like this idea of like open relationships and polyamory and being in polyamorous relationships or whatnot. So I just kind of want to know you guys' take on it. Would you ever consider a polyamorous relationship or, being in that type of relationship? That's my first question. And then my second question is something that I've also kind of observed is that when there are these discussions of polyamorous relationships, polyamory, thruples, whatever the buzzword is at the time that you guys kind of want to use for it, it's always kind of leaning one-sided. It's always leaning 2 girls and 1 guy, or multiple girls and 1 guy. It's never kind of the reverse. We haven't really seen like this heavy lean on the opposite direction where it's 1 woman and 2 guys, or 1 woman and multiple guys. So my second question, the second part of that question is why do you think that is? Why is it not kind of an even playing field? If people are leaning more towards this idea of polyamorous relationships and talking polyamory and having multiple wives and husbands and yada yada yada, why is it not kind of like an even playing field? Why is it mostly very male leaning? So to address my first question, which was, would you ever consider a polyamorous relationship? For me, I'm going to say no. Not that, I judge other people for it, because I don't see it as a negative thing. I think that people, can love multiple people. They can be in love with multiple people. And if you have the capacity to make it work and you're comfortable in it and everybody is open and honest, then by all means, do your thing, and like, not only that, if it interests you and if it's easier for you in how you love them, by all means. But for me, it wouldn't work. For one, I'm pretty open on this show about the fact that I ain't the biggest people person anyway. So the idea of trying to balance a relationship with multiple people, it's like draining for me already just thinking about it. I'm like, I gotta deal with not 1, but 2 of y'all motherfuckers? Nah, man, I can't, so that's why polyamory really doesn't kind of appeal to me, in that just the nature of, I'm not a huge people person anyway. I'm good with just 1 person and trying to balance all of that and figure all of that out. Having to have to balance multiple people, please multiple people, deal with multiple people is just a lot. Or just even being involved in a relationship with someone who is dealing with multiple people is a lot still. Because I think that that's something that isn't talked about enough, is because you hear people talk about the fact that the person who is in, relationship with the multiple other people, you hear them having to go through the balance, but you never hear it from kind of the other side of the people who are one of the multiple people that the other person is dating. Because a lot of times, at least from what I've seen in these relationships, you don't well, you kind of see him two ways. Like, in some ways, you'll see where, for instance, you'll see where all three people kind of have this relationship and they're kind of in love and maintain a relationship or whatnot. And then on the flip end, you'll see where it's kind of like one person is in a relationship with multiple other people, but the other two people don't. They know of each other, but they don't really like interact in that sense. You know what I mean? So, like I said, for me, it all just sounds exhausting, having to deal with multiple people, period. So it wouldn't work for me, but definitely, like I said, I say I would, you know, I'm not like closed-minded to it. So I think that if people are comfortable enough in doing it, then by all means, you know. But I want to hear from you guys. I want to know, you know, would you consider being in a poly relationship, in a throuple? And you know, are you comfortable with the idea? What are your thoughts on it? Hit me up on the website, prettynerdspodcast.com. Also, you can send us a message on Instagram, Pretty Nerdz Podcast. Make sure you guys are following. And just, you know, let us know. Like, cause I'm curious. I want to know, what do you guys think about polyamorous relationships? Would you consider being in one? What are your thoughts? Now, to the second part of that question that I asked is, why do you think that we see it kind of more male-driven or more heavily leaning to the male side? Like, you'll see more people who are okay with a guy and two girls, or a guy and multiple girls, as opposed to a woman and two guys, or a woman and multiple guys. Now, I feel like that is not like a complicated, you know, subject, or even a complicated answer. I think that most of us kind of know the answer to that. Is that in general, I think when it comes to relationships, sexuality, these, you know, these ideas, or, you know, archaic ideas of masculinity, femininity, sexuality, and all of that jazz, we've come to see that pretty much people are more comfortable with this idea, or this notion of men, and men just it being a part of a man being a man and being with multiple different people, as opposed to a woman. And, you know, women are kind of viewed as these fragile creatures, and, you know, we're not really, quote unquote, supposed to be seen as like these sexual beings or whatnot, or, you know, and whatnot. So the idea of a woman being with carrying on in a relationship with multiple men and all that is almost kind of like shunned and frowned upon. And it's very, like I said, it's a very archaic and an old way of thinking. But even as we have entered into, you know, 2020 in this new space, and people are more open to ideas about sexuality, gender roles, the ideas around masculinity and femininity are changing. Even as we become more and more open, we do still kind of see some of those archaic stereotypes still kind of playing into, you know, these new, well, they're not really new ideas of relationships, but just these ideas of relationships, different types of relationships that are becoming more prevalent. Like I said, a lot of people are kind of shunning or moving away from monogamy. They don't feel like monogamy is necessary in order to maintain a happy and loving relationship. So, I mean, so as we kind of are seeing some people make those shifts or making those changes, we're still kind of faced with some of those, like I said, archaic kind of stereotypes and notions. I would hope, or I would like to see it become more of an even playing field. I would like to see it being more accepted and more kind of like, okay, well, yeah, when it comes to this idea of polyamory, polyamorous relationships, that, it's okay for a woman to have, multiple men or even multiple partners because I don't want to like make it like gender specific because, well, you know what I mean? Because we know, when it comes to people's sexuality, they can feel basically you can be with whoever you want to be with, you know what I mean? So I don't want to like just seem like I'm focusing just on a man being with a bunch of women or a woman being with a bunch of men, because like I said, it could be a relationship where you have a woman who has a girlfriend and a boyfriend and another boyfriend, another girlfriend, or, vice versa. It could be a man who has a boyfriend and a girlfriend, a boy, whatever. Like I said, so I don't want it to just kind of seem like I'm just being like specific to a relationship of a man with multiple girls or a girl with multiple guys or whatever like that. But needless to say, I would love to see it be more even, like I said, an even playing field where it's acceptable or seen as acceptable for both a man or a woman if you do decide to engage in a polyamorous relationship for, it to be even. So it's not just so male driven, like male men are allowed to have multiple partners but the women aren't. You know what I mean? So either way it goes, like I said, I want to hear from you guys. Hit me up on the website, prettynerdspodcast.com, on Instagram, Pretty Nerdz Podcast. Make sure you're following. And just, and give me your thoughts. Let me know, what are your thoughts when it comes to this whole idea of polyamory and polyamorous relationships? Whew. That was an interesting topic. If I do say so myself. So yeah, I mean, this has been a pretty kind of light show, pretty quick show. First show of the new year. We have so many big things coming for you guys this year. Obviously, I've mentioned multiple times, we have the website, prettynerdspodcast.com. Make sure you guys go visit it, check it out. We'll be having merch coming later on in the year. We're still kind of working that aspect of it out. Fallon Deanne will be back, and better than ever. Very, very soon we just have so many really, really exciting things coming for you guys. So we definitely want you to stay tuned. So let me check it out here before I kind of wrap up the show. Let me give you guys the nerd moments of the week. And this week, my nerd moment is just that I'm super excited that The Magicians comes on the Syfy channel. Season 5 is coming back. It'll be premiering January 15th. For those of you who watch The Magicians or who aren't if you're not caught up, you can get caught up right now on Netflix. They finally added season 4 on Netflix. So if you're not caught up, you can go get caught up on The Magicians before the new season starts on January 15th. My thoughts a little bit. I watched the preview, so it looks pretty interesting. I'm excited because Margot is my favorite, so I'm excited to see her do her thing and be the all-out badass that she is. I'm sad because, as you guys know, Quentin died in season 4 at the end of season 4, he died. And as I've read online, he will not, because sometimes when characters die, they'll float in and out or have guest appearances and that. But from what I hear, he's not coming back at all. So no Quentin this season at all. So I'm a little like, but we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Hopefully it'll still be a really good season. The previews look pretty good. So we'll see if the show is as good. Because Quentin was such a huge part of the show. For the first 4 seasons. So, I don't know. We'll see how it plays out in this 5th season with no Quentin at all. Obviously, I think there will be mentions of it because they're also going to kind of be reeling and dealing with his death. But, yeah. So, we'll see how it plays out. So, again, The Magicians will be returning on Syfy on January 15th. So, check it out. If you haven't never seen The Magicians, then again, all four of the first 4 seasons are available on Netflix. So go watch it. It's pretty interesting, in my opinion, anyway. In my humbly nerd opinion, I think it's an interesting show. I enjoy it, nonetheless. Trying to see any type of new music that dropped kind of at the end of the year. We had a couple of records that dropped, but I'm gonna be super honest with you guys. I haven't really listened to anything new that came out. I'm still kind of vibing on my old stuff. I'm still listening to Wale's last album. Sumi is my shit. I was blasting that on the 31st coming into the new year, just letting the world know, bitch, I'm still rooting for everybody that's black, even in 2020. Goddamn it, we still here. So I'm still rocking with that Wale record. That was just my shit. I enjoy it so much. I'm not gonna lie, after the Drake interview, I'm telling you, it's the goddamn power of Drake, man. But after the Drake interview, I went back and listened to some old Drake records. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, I am one of those people who was involved in the debate about Take Care and Nothing Was the Same. I know a lot of people feel like Nothing Was the Same was his best record. I, on the other hand, loved Take Care, still my shit. And then, in his interview, he went on to say that Nothing Was the Same was his favorite. So I went back and listened, and I'm still holding to Take Care, man. I'm still holding to Take Care. Take Care is still my favorite Drake project. Until he gives me something else. I will say that when Nothing Was the Same came out, I did not appreciate it back then because I was like, Because again, I'm a Take Care girl. I enjoyed Take Care so much. And I was like, when Nothing Was the Same came out, I was like, this ain't it for me. I will say, though, as the years have went on, and he's released other projects, Nothing Was the Same has actually grown on me. I'm like, okay, you know what? I can see it. I can see why there's a debate between Nothing Was the Same and Take Care. I'm still riding with Take Care. I still lean towards Take Care, but I can't be mad no more at folks who say Nothing Was the Same was his best record, because it's grown on me now. I get it now. So, definitely, like I said, after the little interview, I kind of went back and did some Drake listening just to kind of get back and, to kind of see if my opinion had changed or anything like that. Not still the same, but I get it now. Let me see, any other new music or just music in general that I'm listening to. Oh, things that I'm looking forward to, or projects that I'm anticipating or looking forward to hearing. I'm looking forward to hearing or seeing where Meg goes in 2020. even though she's had multiple projects, she considers them mixtapes. So 2020, she's supposedly supposed to be releasing her debut album. So I'm looking forward to seeing what we get from Meg Thee Stallion in 2020. Her star really kind of blossomed and grew pretty big in 2019. So I'm looking forward to kind of seeing where she takes it in 2020. Obviously, I think like the rest of the world, we're kind of looking to see what Miss Fenty does with this next project. I mean, we've had hints, or we know she said it's going to be a more kind of reggae based record. So we'll see. I mean, we know for facts it will do numbers because it's super anticipated and people are just going crazy. Like you saw the tweets, people harassing her like crazy, especially in the last couple of hours of 2019. They were just harassing that girl like crazy. Like, you said we were getting an album. Where's the album? Blah, 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 blah. So needless to say, it will definitely do numbers. We know that because too many people are looking for her to drop that shit. So I think it'll come sometime during this month of January, though. I think she'll probably push it back to maybe towards the end of January. If not January, she may just do, you remember when Beyonce did her B-Day record and she kind of dropped it around her birthday? She may push it and drop that joint around her birthday. So I would, you know what? That actually sounds like a good ass plan. That's going to be my take. I'm going to rock with it. I'm going to say that she's going to drop it around her birthday. That's a good take. I'm rocking with that. So I'm going to say that we can expect the new Rihanna record around her birthday. That's my prediction. Also, we will be getting possibly, I'm going to say possibly because we don't know for facts, but possibly the last Nicki Minaj record ever. She had some rumblings about retiring, then she kind of took it back. She walked it back. But I honestly think she may be like, whatever this last project is that she's working on, I honestly think that may be it for her. I think that she felt, she's kind of in a space where I think she's, when it comes to music, she may be done as far as being in front of, like, kind of being in the forefront. She may kind of go in the background when it comes to music. But I think that whatever this next project is, it may definitely be her last project. So, we'll also be getting Cardi B's second record in, this year as well. We'll see. I mean, her first record was uber massive successful. We all know that was huge. It's tough. It's tough. You guys know people are finicky and fickle. And when you have such a high point, anything kind of underneath that, people are going to deem as unsuccessful. So huge kind of pressure on her. So we'll see how she kind of responds to that pressure with this sophomore record. Like I said, we'll see what's to come on that forefront when it comes to Cardi's record. Is there any other artists I think that people are anticipating, or records that we're anticipating? I definitely think we'll get another Beyonce project this year. Because I mean, her last outings were the joint record with Jay. Then she gave you the Lion King project, which really was like, it's a project, but wasn't like, you get what I'm saying. It's like a kind of a soundtrack-ish thing, but it wasn't like a Beyonce project. So I definitely think we'll get a Beyonce project this year. I want to see if she will, like, what direction she will take it as far as records go, because she hasn't had, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, she's had some hits in these past couple of records or whatever like that, but she hasn't had like massive big record, like massively big records, I think. I mean, as far as the numbers are concerned, that's what I'm gonna say. As far as the numbers are concerned, she hasn't had like any super massively big records since she did that. I think since she dropped the Surprise project, because Lemonade, you know, visually, like I said, visually was stunning, and it had some bops, obviously, with Formation and all that, just like that. But I mean, it wasn't a huge number success, and the projects that she does with Jay aren't huge number successes. So we'll see. We'll see what she does here in 2020, but I definitely think we'll be getting a project from her. I also think we will be getting a Kendrick project this year. I think that Kendrick is definitely a recluse, and I don't know how much more music we will be getting from Kendrick. He seems like he is kind of already in retirement mode, as well. So I'm thinking, and I could totally be off base and be wrong, but I think that whatever the next project we get from Kendrick, like the next album he does, I think that it may be his last. I feel like he is very like Andre 3000, like, you know what I mean? Like how Andre 3000 just kind of like was like, you know, if you saw his interview that he did with Rick Rubin when he did his sit down, he said that like he didn't know, you know, he doesn't have the I don't want to say passion for music, but it just, you know, it's just not there for him like it was. So that's why he hasn't really been able to kind of sit down and do a project. I think with Kendrick, you know, I think he loves music, but I think that he also just loves life too. You know what I mean? Is that weird? I don't know how to kind of, I think he just also likes to love, like he loves being like Kendrick, just a regular dude. So I think that whatever project he gets is going to be his last project. And I could totally be off base with that, but, you know, it is what it is. I also think that we'll probably get another J. Cole project, but I don't think that it will be anytime early in the year. I'm going to push a J. Cole project, because I think that he's really kind of moving into executive guy, where I think he wants to kind of push his artists to the forefront and really get his label going, you know, Dreamville out there. I mean, we saw the success that they had with their Revenge of the Dreamers project. So I think that if we get a J. Cole record, it will be very much later on in the year. I don't think he's going to give us anything like super early on in the year. And yeah, that's pretty much my takes for music and what I feel like is up and coming in 2020. Aside from that, I really don't have anything else for you guys. Like I said, super slow as far as hot tops and all that jazz. But I do want to say to you guys, Happy New Year. I hope that it's a successful year for you. I hope that you're bossing up out there, that you're getting your money, that you got getting your relationships together, your mental health is being taken care of, taking care of yourself, your family, your loved ones, your friends. You are remembering to have fun. That's basically, I just hope that this year is prosperous for you on all accounts. Again, I want to thank you guys for tuning in with me this week. Thank you guys so much for listening and supporting the Pretty Nerdz podcast. And we will be back again next week. Bye, guys.